question. Who are you? As one would suspect, most gave their name or profession. Some became angry or laughed the question away. However, a small percentage replied, I am a child of God, made in the image and likeness of God. And that is what we are. Another recent survey focused on young adults from various faith traditions and found that even believers viewed God as, get this, the divine butler to be called in only when needed, and that religion's purpose was to make them feel good. A long way from the Christian tradition's emphasis on following Christ crucified. How far we are from the 2nd century Saint Irenaeus, who maintained that the glory of God is the complete human being, and the glory of the human being is the contemplation of God. In the year 627, the monk Paulinus visited King Edwin of northern England to persuade him to accept Christianity. Paulinus, the king, and his vassals were at table discussing this when a little bird flew into the hall, feeling for a few moments its warmth, but then flew right out into the cold and dark. The king's advisor said, "It seems to me that the life of man is much the same as that little bird. We do not know what went before. We do not know what follows. If this new doctrine monk Paulinus brings can speak convincingly of these things, it would be well for us to follow it." Now, it's natural for the human person to question the meaning of life. Why? Because we live ultimate questions. Questions are very strange. You must first know and also not know something in order to ask a question. Ever notice that children are natural questioners? Legend has it that the Buddha was raised in a castle far away from life's realities. And when he left, he came upon a sick person, then an old man, then a corpse, and he concluded, life is pain, it's misery, it's sickness, it's death. The question, is there any way out of this cycle? Even the great German Jesuit theologian Karl Rahner wrote, "The greatest argument against Christianity is life itself." Bernard Lonergan, the late Canadian Jesuit philosopher theologian who taught for a while here at Boston College, he argued for the existence of God on the basis of our questioning. He wrote, "As the question of God is implicit in all our questioning, so being in love with God is the fulfillment of the essential dynamism of our consciousness. Being in love with God in an unrestricted fashion is the proper fulfillment of our capacity for self-transcendence." You got that? I would add that I am not only a being of unrestricted questioning, but also a living question that only God can answer. I am also a person in search of being loved and able to love in return in an unrestricted love. With St. Augustine, I maintain that our hearts are restless until they rest in God. The ancient Greek philosophers loved wisdom, the meaning of the word philosophy, and they claimed that the beginning of wisdom is awe and wonder. Socrates declared that the unexamined life is not worth living. The Greeks were consumed with the questions, what does it mean to live? What is the truly good life? The confession by the Apostle Paul is apposite here. "For since in the wisdom of God, the world through its wisdom did not know him, we preach Christ crucified, foolishness to the Greeks." 1 Corinthians 1:23. Questioning, ultimate questions, the love of wisdom. What does one make of the 20th century linguistic philosophers who ask such profound questions as, does it rain between the drops?